Hi guys, today, would you believe it, we're doing a shop with me. Not as we know it, but last week we went to Marks and Spencer's. We weren't really gonna go, and then we ended up there. We kind of went for a drive, and we're gonna get just like a Costa and stuff and drive around near to Meadowhall to feel a little bit familiar, and then we ended up going to Marks and Spencer's, and it was super chilled out. It was more strict, I would say, in terms of the number of people that were letting in, and so social distancing was much easier, and the whole experience was very normal. And so we decided to go again this week, and I thought I would film it. Car park is pretty quiet. I was just wondering whether or not it was going to be busier today, queue-wise, because the weather's been so nice, and obviously everyone's like, barbecue, 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 but it doesn't seem too bad. Also, I'll get rid of the chewing gum because I know that's going to be annoying. So this, I don't know if this was here last week. I don't know if this is in preparation for them to actually open the centre, but this seems like people actually queuing to get in, which is not the situation. You can literally just walk in and then you queue to get into Marks and Spencer's from the inside. Big notices everywhere, contactless payment, 2 meters distance, all that stuff. So this has changed in the last week. When we came last Saturday, Starbucks wasn't open, and now this area is, and it's staffed. Obviously, it wouldn't be open without staff. Was this open? Was this covered up last week? This smile part?
No, it was open.
Oh, was it? Right, so the Entertainer has been open for click and collect. It says on the outside, like door pickup, and we saw 2 people doing that last week. But the rest, we don't even have to queue. We're just going to walk down here to show you. Because there's literally nobody waiting outside. Yeah, Boots is open, Wilco's open, Holland and Barrett is open. There are a couple. It's like Vision Express, all the banks. Actually, I might go to the bank and put that cash in that I've got in my wallet. So obviously this is all very like weird, end of the worldy, dystopian. Fun fact, I used to work in Meadowhall many moons ago, and so this is not that weird to see. But they've got all these signs, so they're obviously preparing for the centre to open properly. All these signs basically saying you can't, like, you could sit on that one, you can sit on that one, but in between that's the 2 meters distance. Signs on the floor, more COVID notices. I mentioned in a vlog that I was super tempted to come, maybe not on the day that it opens, because that's a Monday, which is awkward, but potentially soon after it opens, purely to, oh look, here's on the floor as well. These are the kind of 2 meters apart distance, and this is the queue up to Marks and Spencer's now, which there's no one in it. But yeah, I'm tempted to come and see, just to kind of document what they're doing, how it is shopping in Meadowhall once the stores all open on the 15th. So this is Vision Express, which apparently you can actually make an appointment, so like emergency appointments to go into. And last week there's a lot of people queuing at this time, absolutely nobody today. And this lady is the one that is going to be enforcing that. They have opened their cafe for takeaway only. Now this is, oh yeah, this is something I was wondering about, because I was looking online and it said like, oh, you can walk around all of the bottom floor of Marks and Spencer's right now, and I was looking online and it said they're like essential shopping and their takeaway cafe, and obviously the supermarket element, like the food shop, was all open. But I thought, oh well, maybe when we walked through here you can walk through but you can't actually buy stuff, but apparently you can. There's people just browsing stuff. Again, in vlogs, when we've kind of discussed in the comments what's going to happen once all this lifts and people start shopping again from the 15th, lots of people have expressed concern with like, what about people handling stuff and like rifling through stuff? They don't buy it, the next person then is touching it. What happens? I have no idea. Although now I know you can shop everything outside of the food. This is all becoming incredibly tempting. I might buy myself some flowers. It's peony season. Oh, and there's pink ones. Oh, decisions. Last week I was really tempted, but there was hardly any stuff, and there were only some colours that I didn't really like. I think I'm going to go with those ones. This is the layout on the floor. There's no one-way system. It's not the world's biggest shop in the world, but it seems fairly simple. As I said, I don't think they're letting in tons and tons of people, because the same with last week, we found it really easy to just get around without really facing people constantly and worrying about being in their space. Oh man, I haven't had any seafood in ages. Loads of fresh pasta. I mean, these are amazing. For sure, we went a little bit crazy on takeaways early on in lockdown, and I've kind of come to the conclusion I'd rather spend it on nice food from Marks and Spencer's from time to time. It feels a little bit luxurious in this time of limitations. I am obsessed with anything Alfredo. There's a seafood theme so far. If you did see the vlog, yeah, get that one. We got a Chinese, we got that last week. It's so much food. And again, if you're thinking like, well, you know, you could spend £25 on a takeaway or whatever it is you might spend, £10, and it was so much food. So this week we're gonna try the Indian one. And Milo really I almost couldn't say my own son's name. Milo really likes the kids one, the kids curry that they do. I've just seen dim sum. Look at this. I am having to be very mindful and very conscious of intentionally not touching, picking up things that I'm definitely, or at least not definitely going to buy. It's a really strange, I want to make sure I'm going to actually take it home before I pick it up, and it's just instinctive when you're shopping and when you're browsing to pick things up and look at things. Again, it's a brave new world. This is peak Marks and Spencer's for me. It is £3 for baked potatoes with cheese and butter on top. So when we got the trolley, she said they've all been wiped down already. I'm thinking, they're obviously making an effort to do this. But if you go into the freezer, you're opening the freezer. Every single person is touching the freezer handle. So again, I'm trying to be mindful that we should be limiting this as much as possible, but also some stuff feels impossible. Milo really likes, we got some sub rolls last week, and we've just got in these little mini ones. He loves a salami sandwich. It is inexplicable, but when we go to Subway, he just has a salami sandwich, a plain salami sandwich, and he thinks it's the best thing ever. I can't understand why he needs to get that from Subway, but the bread from Marks and Spencer's, the sub rolls, are as close as we can get at home, apparently. I love this whole section is just really bougie. Not really. Most of this stuff doesn't even appeal to me because I'm not a mega sweet tooth, but I just love it, mini meringues and rich chocolate truffle sauce. It just sounds really everything. This is not just maple syrup, it's Marks and Spencer's maple syrup, although I did buy some of these which I will just eat like biscuits. How crazy is this? So I saw something in the news the other day about white eggs coming back to the supermarket after however many years. I didn't even know white eggs were an actually naturally occurring thing. I truly thought that they were just bleached. So very strange. Also developed a taste for these last week. Everybody liked them, and I'm not usually into an own brand version of something that we already know, but these are better than normal Jaffa cakes. Browsing for inspiration for our cocktails with the neighbours. I'm in between whether or not I'm going to do. I did a spritz last night, an elderflower spritz situation. Look, I know it's Itsu, but also it's a bit like being at Wagamama's. Nothing about that appeals to me. These kind of really sweet alcohols, whatever they might, even fruity ciders don't appeal to me. So salted caramel, absolutely not. I don't even like Baileys and stuff. I'm gonna try this. I don't think I've ever had a flavoured vodka. Remembered, Ella specifically asked me to look for Percy Pig ice cream, and look, there is even a label. Oh, they've got it! I have come across the snacks aisle. I remember getting these things when I used to visit my grandma. Marks and Spencer's on the whole kind of reminds me of my grandma. It's a thing, isn't it? If you're only buying a small amount of things, which she would have done because she was on her own, then it's kind of fine to shop here, but for a regular family, it's too expensive. Live Well is right, Ruth Jones. And on your way out, you actually come back into the car park, which is always what you could do, but this is now what they're encouraging you to do. So you go in through the store and then out through the back entrance into the car park. Back entrance is really an exit. A lot of stuff. Last week when we came, because we weren't intending to be in there, and then we were like, oh, we can shop together. This feels really weird and normal. And I think we got a bit excited and spent more money than we intended to. This week we were like, I want to go as much. We'll just be a bit more chilled out. Lee went to Morrison's, got the basics. So it was just extras, some special bits. Spent more money. I'm not going to do a haul because I'm just not, but I showed you most of the stuff that we got. A couple of things that we like. We like this. If ever we're going to go to Marks and Spencer's for a nice meal, which I know this is not a nice meal, but you know what I'm saying, something a bit special. We'll get one of these, something else a bit like this, and an ultimate mashed potato, and it feels very comfort foody. Pretty much everything that I showed you. Obviously everything I picked up I bought. I got some Prosecco that I'm going to have with this elderflower cordial that we got last week. Where is that? This, completely obsessed. We also last week tried this, so I got another one of them. The cucumber and mint sparkling spring water. This was really nice. I had it with gin and pineapple juice, and it was like a pineapple gin and tonic, and it was delicious, very refreshing, a really nice summer drink. And I also did find some not even opened peonies, so I bought those ones. As I said, Marks and Spencer's, not somewhere that we would usually shop ever, but after last week, like if you watch my vlogs at all, I barely left the house for like 8 weeks. I've only been to the supermarket twice. Liz done all of the shopping, and I just found the whole thing, like, I was starting to get a little bit of anxiety about leaving the house at all. But then obviously staying in the house was not doing anything for my mental health either. It was a vicious vicious cycle. And then when we came last week, I said to Lee, I'm not going in with you. You're supposed to shop separately. I don't feel comfortable. I was prepared to just stay in the car. And then we walked in, and every single person was either in pairs or in families. They were really strict on the numbers they were letting in. It felt very comfortable, very normal, and it was just a completely different experience. And so that's why we came back this week, purely because while it doesn't feel normal to go to Tesco, Morrison's, Asda, wherever we choose to go on a week-to-week basis, it felt really nice to be able to it just felt normal. So now we're going to go to Costa drive-through, which is what we did last week. We'll eat our Marks and Spencer sandwiches while we're waiting for the drive-through because it's crazy cute, and go home. And that is our Saturday. That's our exciting Saturday. It feels exciting. Would you say it feels exciting, Lee?
Super exciting.
It feels exciting, which is ridiculous. I'm so excited for everything to get back to normal. Whether or not we're going to be at Meadowhall on a weekend for a long time, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be something that we're going to want to like take a family trip to Meadowhall for quite a while, but it just feels like we're getting little nuggets of normalcy back, and that's nice. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm kind of in two minds about whether or not this is going to be a good thing or a bad thing, but I think for most people, they just want to kind of see what it is actually like in stores right now, and if I do decide to do a thing of, you know, this is what Meadowhall is like after the lockdown is lifted, then it will be in the same vein as very much this is what it's like for those of you that are worried to do it. And especially if you are looking for a little bit of comfort and a little bit of normality. I know that's been like the buzzword of the video. Could be a drinking game. But if you are, I would recommend, I don't know about all Marks and Spencer's, but the one in Meadowhall for sure. It does just feel normal.